So once we have determined the logic of working with a register page, we will now create the user interface for each page inside the register page. Okay, so here we see that this is the first page which user sees. So it says what's your email address, and there is a text field, and then we have a label. Okay, let's do this. So what I would like to do is, first I would like first of all, I would like this page to be on a separate view, not on the consent view. So we will now select a UI view object, and we will left mouse click, drag it to the content view. X, make sure that it is 0. In order to distinguish the color, I would select a very light gray color like this, so I can determine. And the width of this, I would make it 375 because this is the basic view that we have selected. The height must be 667. In order to manipulate these parameters, select your view, go to the size inspector, right here 375 width and 667 for the height. And what we will do now, inside of this, we will create a label which says what's your email address. So this is the label. We can stretch it a little bit. I go to Attribute Inspector. I select the font Helvetica Neue, custom one. It can be regular. I will make it centered. And the text color, I'll select Facebook color, let's say. And I will write what's your email address. What's your email address? We see that this is a very little bit bold, so I'll select the font type, medium. That's the one. Okay, what's your email address? Excellent. Now we would need a UI text field. This is the one. So there is approximately 10 pixels gap, or 15 maximum. I'll keep 20. Okay, so the background of the text field, I'll keep white. And as we see, this our text field. This is the text field which we can be using, let's say. Or I'll select the border style with no borders. I'll select this style for being a text field. And the height, I will increase it to 35. Okay, excellent. So underneath there, we see there must be a label. Here we go. And I'll keep the same 20 pixels gap. And will write, you'll use this email when you log in. You'll use this email when you log in. When you log in, and if you ever need to reset your password. And if you ever need to reset your password. Okay, it came quite long, but I will resize it. Like this, we are going to attribute inspector. Here, lines will select 0, which means unlimited lines. We'll center it. And don't forget dot at the end. Okay, excellent. And we need to change the color of the text, which can be a light gray or even just a gray or dark gray. So I will select scroll view color. Okay. And font, I'll select Helvetica Neue. I'll make it 15 pixels. Okay, excellent. So this is exactly what we want to see. And shadow will make clear color. Highlighted, we don't need that as well. Okay, this is the one which I'll be using. Okay, and also a very important point there is that we would need a button which is called continue button. So let's say when you enter your email, it will show you continue button which you can be using. So the ideal will be to use the same button. So I'll select the login button. I will then click on this view, which is what's your email address. So when you select this login button, you can press Command and plus C. You can press Command plus C for copying and Command plus V for pasting. So copy, I copied this and I pasted that inside the view. Make sure in your register VC that this is the part, in this case is not the part of this view. So I will just drag it. Now we see that this button is the part of the view. Okay, so I will clear it from all the constraints and I will now align it accordingly. So 60 pixels on the left and 16 pixels on the right and 20 pixels the gap. And I will rename it to continue. Excellent. So the same one, and let's align this text field. Okay. I will make the width of this text field 16 pixels left, 16 pixels right. And the button is aligned with the same proportion. And I'll update the label and I'll upload this first label. Okay, excellent. So we want the same view to be, so we have placed all the objects which we need for that one. Now we will go to the full name. Okay, so what I will do is I'll select this view, copy and paste. Once again, I will select view on the left panel, hold, click Command and C button, C for charity. Command C, then immediately I will press Command V to paste it. So we see that this is our first view and that's the second view which we will be using for the full name. And here we will be able to create a different user interface, because here you see we have a first name and we need to create a last name. First of all, we'll change what's your name. Here we'll write what's your name. What's your name? Excellent. And then I'll go to the label. Using your real name makes it easier for friends to recognize you. Using your real name makes it easier for your friends to recognize you. And dot at the end. So once we have typed this text, we'll have to resize our label. Excellent, like this. Very good. Okay, so 20 pixels got the same proportion. So what we will be doing now, before I forget, let's write a placeholder which will be enter your email address. Select the first placeholder. Click to attribute inspector. Here, let's write enter your email address. Excellent. The same we'll do for the full name, which we need first to create the two text fields, first name and last name. So I will make think the width of this something like 190 is too much, 170. I will just holding Alt, I will just drag it. So still it's too much. So it's better to be 165 or 160, 160, the width of this. Then I will copy and paste it. How I do that? I select the text field, I hold on my Mac keyboard Alt button, I hold Alt and I drag it with the left mouse click. Then I release first the left mouse click and then Alt, so it copies it. So I select the first text field. I see 16 pixels from right and 23 to 16 from left and 23 to right. The same for the second one, 16 from right and 23 to the left. Okay, select your first name text field, which is that one. Go to Attributes Inspector. And let's write a placeholder first name. Excellent. Then we go for the last name and we do the same last name. Excellent. So we have done now building the second page out of 5. We will now do again copy and paste. So in this case I won't copy the second page. I'll copy the first page because next one password is equivalent to that one. I select the first one. I click Command C and Command V, which gets it pasted. Okay, so here are 375 plus 375, or multiplied by 2. X position for the third one must be 750. I'll just drag third one down underneath so it's in the chronological order. So the last one, X must be 750. Excellent. And here we'll write create a password. Create a password. Very good. And here we'll write the placeholder password. Placeholder, here we go. Password. Excellent. Enter a combination of at least 6 numbers. Enter a combination of at least 6 numbers, letters, and punctuation marks. Letters and punctuation marks. Like that one and that one, I think. Don't forget to put dot at the end. Okay, so let's resize this label to let it look aligned well. Okay, excellent. So we have done now with the third page out of 5. Then again we'll do the same steps. The next page, the fourth one, will be when's your birthday. Okay, for that purpose we can copy the password page because it's equivalent to that one because there is a one text field. Copy Command C in my case and Command V to paste it. So we will just now drag it here. Okay, so the X position of this must be 1125. Must be 1125. Excellent. So that one will be what's your birthday, or when's your birthday. Very good. And here the placeholder we will keep it blank because it will show us today's date. Or let's just write birthday. And here, if you select your view, the size inspector, here make sure that the Y is 0. Make sure for all of your views the Y is 0, so it will be aligned properly. Okay, so here we need to write, you can choose who can see this from your profile. Or you can here write share your birthday with your friends, for example. Okay, so the label is aligned well. We will now go to the fifth and last page of creating the user interface alignment. That's the one. The last one is what's your agenda. Okay, and then we have two buttons there. We will now do the same. I'll select the birthday view controller. I will Command C and Command V to copy paste it, so it pasted it here. I will just select this and I will drag it to the end. Make sure that your positions are X 1500, Y is 0, width is 375, and the height is 667. Excellent. So here we will write what's your agenda. What's your agenda? What's your agenda? And we can now remove this button, as once it is selected, it will automatically send the request for the registration. And we'll remove the text field, as we will be using the buttons. Find now button object, just simply drag it here. Let's now make it as a cube square. We can declare 50 to 50. It's quite small. Let's try 100 to 100. Yeah, it looks more better. Okay, so what I will do is I will declare an icon for this. I'll remove the title, which is a button, and here background image will write female. Okay, so we need to resize. We need to do something like this with these two buttons. So programmatically, we'll create the frame. We'll create it in to let it look like this. And here it will be male. So these will be our two buttons. I'll make the 20 pixels gap, and we'll write, you can change this later in your settings. You can change this later in your settings. Excellent. So this is how the user interface looks for all the pages. And the last moment which we need to take into account is to keep the lower one already have an account, so it will throw you back to the login page. Okay, for that purpose we would require a UI view, and very important, when you place a UI view, put it as a part of just view, the mother view. So we have a register VC, the part of the mother view, and do not make it the part of the scroll view, because it must be overlaying scroll view, something like this. Okay, so here the height we can write, let's say 67, x will be 0, y will be 0, oops, y will be 600, like this. And the width will be the width of the scroll view, not the scroll view of the full view controller. It must be having the same background color. Here, background color the same as for the user interface. What we will be doing now, we'll just place the right background color. So select your view. So go to Attribute Inspector, here background color, click on this color picker, and select that's the one. That will be the color. Okay, so this will be the color. the same color, I'll select all the views by holding Command button. I hold Command button. First I select one view, then I hold Command button, I select the rest of them. And this is the right background color. So the same one I'll select for this view. Okay, for a while we just will have to put a button there. I'll just drag a button inside this view, and already have an account and the question mark. This will be the button. Already have an account and question mark. Excellent. So I'll select here, the font will be custom, Helvetica Neue. Let it be 15 pixels. Yeah, something like this. So we'll make it centered. It has the branding color. I'll select the button, go to Attribute Inspector, Text Color. I will select the Facebook color. This is the one. Excellent. So why we have placed this view with such a huge width, and why we have placed this button in the center? Because we will be applying a layout and auto layout and applying a constraints. So this one, it will be centered, so you should not worry about this. Another question which you might be having, why we are not putting this bottom view as a part of the scroll view. In case if we will put this view into scroll view, so while scrolling the pages, this one will be scrolled as well. So we want it to be on the mother view and always overlay scroll view. So let me now put the identical background color. Excellent. So programmatically we'll put a line above this button. So we have now finished creating the user interface for our pages inside the scroll view for the registration purpose. Okay, we will have to now go with the alignment of all of these objects, and then we will move to programming part.